Hello and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Craig and it's great to have you with me on this journey to Indonesia's island empires and ancient mariners. Today's session has been pre-recorded and links will be sent to you so you can re-watch it and share it with any family and friends who might be interested. Now, if you're with us at the webinar broadcast time, the chat is live and our sales team are on hand to answer questions. There will also be contact details at the end of today's presentation for you. Now, I'm going to start with a brief overview of coral expeditions, and then we're going to be joined by Sarah from our expedition team, and then by Steve and Anne from our guest lecturer team, who will share their fantastic insights into this trip, having been on previous coral trips to these destinations. For those of you who are new to Coral Expeditions, we are an Australian-owned, operated and crewed company based in Cairns. The Coral Expedition's purpose is taking small groups to explore the most remote parts of the world with expert guides and warm Australian hospitality. With decades of experience in expeditions, we've taken our unique style of Australian expedition cruising to the amazing Australian destinations like the Kimberley, Tasmania, Great Barrier Reef, Western Australia, Australia's southern coast, and beyond to international destinations such as Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, and the one we're talking about today, Indonesia. Now, on board our vessels, we encourage a natural Australian style of service, meaning an open interaction between our guests and crew. For example, we have an open bridge policy where our guests have the opportunity to visit the bridge and learn about the workings of the ship directly from the bridge crew. We have 3 wonderful ships in our fleet, which we've designed for expedition cruising in tropical waters. Our fleet is comfortable, safe, and purposely built, allowing us to access places that larger ships can't. On all ships, we have wraparound decks for panoramic views and wide open public spaces to walk about. The Coral Adventurer and Coral Geographer are sister ships and have 60 staterooms and maximum of 120 passengers each. Our smallest ship, the Coral Discoverer, has 36 staterooms and a maximum of 72 passengers. She has also recently been given a multi-million-dollar refurbishment to all cabins and public areas as part of Coral Expedition's ongoing commitment to modern quality on board. Now, this trip that we're focusing on today will be done on Coral Geographer. Now, dining is very often an anticipated highlight of any cruise. Every meal on board is thoughtfully prepared by our chefs using fresh, locally sourced ingredients and prepared daily in our open galley. So you start your day with a rotating selection of continental and hot a la carte breakfast options prepared on board with locally sourced ingredients where possible. Lunch includes a daily changing variety of hot and cold dishes such as salads, cold cut soups, fresh seafood and tropical fruits served as individual plates or sharing platters alongside a curated list of Australian and New Zealand wines, beers and ciders. Dinner begins with a seafood sharing concept on the first night, followed by a 3-course menu on subsequent evenings with full table service. Now, menus include options for vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free and dairy-free diets. If you have any specific dietary requirements, please share your details with our reservations team when booking. On board, you'll find a variety of accommodation options to select from, ranging from our bridge deck suites, which we have on our 2 larger ships, featuring a king bed, furnished lounge area, private balcony, minibar, coffee bar, and to complete the suite, a relaxing outside-facing ensuite with horizon bathtub. Our Explorer deck staterooms feature a private balcony, whilst our promenade and coral deck staterooms include a window to enjoy the view. All come with a junior king bed or 2 separate singles if needed, and to complete the room, they come with private ensuite. Now, with so much included, once you're on board and unpacked, you can start enjoying the expedition without any hidden surprises at the end. Included in your cruise fare are all meals chef prepared daily, your daily excursions led by expert guides, premium wines, beers, spirits and soft drinks with lunch and dinner, 24-hour barista-style coffee and tea, standard Wi-Fi, A voyage log and image collection, which is a great keepsake documenting this amazing trip, and all fees for ports, parks, traditional land access, tips, and gratuities. Something that really sets us apart are our explorer tenders. They are unique to coral expeditions and provide comfort and shelter from the elements when out exploring. We have the option to use both these and our Zodiacs to provide the ultimate inshore excursion experience. To help explain these great vessels and their launch system, let's take a look at them in action with a short video. Now, after that video, Sarah will join us to go through the itinerary, and then after Sarah, we'll have Steve and Anne, so make sure you stick around for those.
Bring down the Explorer.
All the ships in the Coral Expeditions fleet, they feature Explorer tenders. They're located on the back of the vessel and they're boarded from deck level.
We are one of the only companies in the world that have the Explorer system.
The ability to walk on board from the lower deck, seat safely, and they lower the whole outfit into the water is just, in my experience, quite unique. So, well done to the designers.
And away they go for the expedition.
They take you off the boat and you experience something that you've never experienced before.
We have a very shallow draft which allows us to get in very close and drop all of our guests right onto the tracks that they're going to go on.
There's a platform at the front which comes down and the guests can walk straight off onto the beaches or wherever we are landing.
A very easy experience for the guests.
Well, it's fantastic to have Sarah join us. Sarah Perrott is part of our expedition crew on board. So Sarah, if you could just give the guys watching an idea of what that role is on board and how it can benefit them when they're traveling on coral expeditions.
Hi, yeah, my name's Sarah. I'm an assistant expedition leader on board Coral Expeditions, 3 different vessels. So I rotate through all 3. I work alongside as the assistant to the expedition leader and coordinate the daily plan, write up the daily plan that you're going to receive in your cabins, and on board when we're out on excursions. Assist with all the activities, make sure you're safe, give you any support that you need, and of course we're always in the background taking lots of beautiful photographs of you.
Fantastic. I was lucky enough to be on board in April and had a fantastic expedition crew, and yeah, sort of the awesome work that you guys do for all of the guests and take care of them, make sure they see these fantastic places. So today we're focused on this Island Empires and Ancient Mariners trip. Now it's going to leave Darwin late November, on the 28th of November, and then there'll also be the return sailing back from Makassar back to Darwin on the 12th of December. So we're going to go through the itinerary in the direction of the one going from Darwin, and then naturally if you were going to buy or book onto the second trip, it'll just be this same itinerary but in reverse order, I guess. So any just general thoughts that you've got about the trip overall, Sarah, and why someone might want to explore this part of the world?
Yeah, I think it's such a wonderful mix of everything you'd want to see in parts of Indonesia. There's so much culture. The people are absolutely wonderful. We do a bit of snorkeling. A little bit of hiking as well, some easy and a little bit harder options for those that are capable. And there's a night ashore in a beautiful location, which is a lot of fun as well. That's always such a wonderful time, even for the crew. Some wonderful scenery and wildlife as well. You get to experience the Komodo dragons. It's a wonderful mix of everything in this trip. There's nothing that you're doing too much of and nothing too little of. I love it. I've done it twice now, and La Malera I've only done once though, and that's it's the scenery, the photography is just incredible. Seeing them throw those spears, it's a very unique place to go and watch them and do their thing, which they put a show on for us. It's incredible.
And look, it's really great that you guys all have got your cameras and you're snapping constantly and getting some really good photos, which are supplied to the guests at the end of their trip as a fantastic keepsake. So
exactly. I always try to tell people to just put their iPhones down or their Samsungs down. Of course, get their photos as they want, but really to experience the moment from without the lens in front of them, because the iPhones aren't going to take a good photo as what we're going to do, and that's our job. We can focus on the photography, they can just focus on the moment. So, and usually after we do that, they do similarly with wildlife like crocodiles and stuff. You're not going to get a great photograph with an iPhone, so I just say put it down, let us do that. You just enjoy the moment, and they really appreciate that.
That's really good advice. So on this trip, the ship will leave Darwin, and it's the first full day at sea. So it'll give guests a real chance to, I suppose, find their sea legs on board. Just find out where the dining room and the bridge lounge is, and their cabin, and start meeting the other guests on board and meeting all the crew. So I think that first full day would be a really good opportunity just to get accustomed to the ship and all the things on offer.
Yeah, it is a chance to settle in, and there'll also be some introductions as well. So nothing's rushed as well. There'll be an introduction from the expedition team and an outlay of the itinerary. Then at some point there'll be a snorkeling briefing, so people will get the chance to just be shown some safety information regarding snorkeling, a little bit of paperwork, get given their gear as well. And then of course we'll have our captain's welcome as well. So it's a full day still, but full day on board, just to get a feel for what's going to come.
Now the first place that we visit is Tabalong Bay. Now, this strikes me as the first piece of paradise that we're going to encounter and start meeting some of the wonderful locals that inhabit these islands.
Yeah. So this is our first location, and yep, they greet us on the beach. They've got these wonderful huts there, and we make our way up to the beach where they do some wonderful performances. There's the opportunity here to purchase some souvenirs as well, the hats that they're wearing in the photograph, some of the sashes and stuff, and they're very excited to have us every single time. It's a wonderful first spot and introduction or end to the trip at Tabalong Bay. And there might be sometimes we may go for a swim as well. It's a lovely beach here too. Yeah,
no, it looks idyllic.
Yeah, great photograph too.
Yeah, so tell us about Alor Island. Looks another opportunity to meet some locals.
Alor, I believe this is the one I only I went to just recently. Yeah, this is another wonderful place. Yes, that's right. They put on another wonderful performance, and you have the chance to purchase some of their uniquely created items, including the little bags that they have. I think I've purchased a few of them. Yeah, they're wonderful. You can put a plant in them or whatever you like, really. So they do like a performance with the drums, and sometimes offer us some snacks as well. So you get the chance to enjoy some of their snacks and really mingle in a very culturally significant group. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yeah, and I imagine they wouldn't get a lot of tourists to this island.
No, not that I'm aware of. They're these ones, a lot of the spots we go to, very limited interaction with cruise ships specifically. They're not easy to get to.
And if you were on a larger cruise ship, you just wouldn't be able to visit these because you'd be overwhelming the population, I imagine. It's an advantage of us being 120 Yes,
Absolutely.
at most. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one is quite, you wouldn't really even be able to get that many people in this area as well. This is quite a small village. Or it is a little bit sparsely spread, but you wouldn't all be able to be in the one area together to watch the performance. So yeah, a lot of them they're not built like amphitheaters. They're very interactive, and yeah. Yeah, wonderful chance to buy some fabrics as well. And
Yeah.
jewelry
Yeah, they've
from
got
my memory.
they've got the open air market there to visit.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so let's see the next destination.
Yeah. Oh, this is when Coral Adventurer was there. Yeah, La Malera is it's incredible watching them jump in the water like this. So we go out on a cruise and watch them in action doing their thing. So they generally obviously this is part of their culture to hunt marine animals for their people.
Yeah.
And some people might find that uncomfortable, but this is their livelihood here. If you see from the shore, there's no supermarkets there. This is how they survive and thrive as a community. So you can't, it just puts into perspective what people need to do to survive and, appreciate the quality of life that we have. We've got Woolworths around the corner, but some people still need to live in this way. So you can respect what they need to do, and even though they're putting on a show for us, this is their life. And the photographs of this were just incredible. They weren't actually hunting any animals while we were there, but
they were just showing
amazing.
how the skills that they have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I loved the photos from there. Some of the crew got some incredible shots, and then we sort of cruise along and you can see the village as well. Depending on if we land as well, they do some traditional weaving, I believe, and you can have a closer look at the village as well. And they're always very welcoming. They love seeing us there.
So another coastal town to come across. Now this looks quite interesting with the crater lakes. This one really stood out to me.
Yeah, this is a full day activity. So we get on a bus and we go up to Ende. It's amazing. So the first time, so we just went back in January, and it was the views were incredible. So, and the good thing is if you aren't very mobile, they do have like little 4-wheel drives, and they drive people up to a higher point, so you can get to see the lakes. Whereas everyone else, if you want, it's a nice walk up, a decent hike up to the top.
Yeah.
And the photography is incredible. It's so beautiful. You can even sort of smell and the altitude as well. You feel that a bit. But
yes.
And then I believe on the way back, I think we go out for a dine out at one of the resorts.
Yeah, lunch at the Eco Lodge. Yes.
That's it. Oh yeah, that's a great lunch. Yes, sorry. Yeah, the Eco Lodge. Yeah, beautiful lunch, Indonesian style lunch at the Eco Lodge resort. It's in beautiful gardens as well. They've got like creeks running through it. It's it's a great day out. Great day out.
I think,
so this.
Yeah, nothing else, having the opportunity to try all this actual authentic local Indonesian food would be enough to get me on board. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Okay, so now this looks like a spectacular walk. I'd love to do this one.
This is a wonderful walk. Yeah, so it's this is Padar, so obviously you get this is pretty much the top point where you can get those photographs of yourself. And it's just, the scenery is just incredible. It's like something out of Jurassic Park, really. So this one's like a moderate walk. It's not too hard. You just you can take your time as well, and you can go just to the first viewpoints if you like. and just manage your ability.
Yeah.
But it is this is one where you'll see, I can see one of the crew members in that photo. You can this is one of the ones where you'll probably see at least 20 of the crew using their break to go out and experience as well. They'll be quickly running up and quickly running back down to go back to the galley or something.
Yes.
So yeah, this one's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
on our trip, I remember the fantastic purser and hospitality crew had a couple of chances to get off and see some of the sights, which was awesome, and mix and mingle with the guests that they're getting to know through the trip. So yeah, that was wonderful.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, yeah.
Now,
That's a great photograph.
if someone can't or doesn't want to or doesn't think they would cope at all with any of that walk, there's an option that they could just spend time in the Explorer and take in the scenery.
Yeah, they would do like a cruise along these headlands, and
which would be beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a wonderful cruise as well. Just seeing those mountains from the bottom it's incredible. The cruising around all these islands is incredible.
It looks like a movie set.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, something out of Jurassic Park. It just looks so remote and incredible.
Now, the next destination is one that I've had a chance to get to. I got to mix and mingle with the dragons. But yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking when as soon as you land on the beach, knowing that they could be virtually anywhere. They have the run of the island.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So yeah, luckily Komodo is quite controlled and it's a very touristy place. So there's whereas when you do talk to some of the rangers there, they've got that map there's a big map of the Komodo Island group, and there's some of these smaller ones, and they go, and you've asked, do you guys go to that island? And they say, no, there's too many dragons and there's not enough. The people they're not used to people, so those ones are quite dangerous. But Komodo is obviously they're used to people. It's quite a touristy destination. When we're there, it hasn't been too busy, but and the rangers are very well equipped. But yeah, you keep your eye out for where they might be. But it's really cool to see them. They're huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah, you feel like, okay, dinosaurs are still on the planet when you see these things.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the only place you can see them in the wild. So it's really a unique opportunity and a fantastic reason to do this trip.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be brave enough to land on the smaller islands. But yeah, so there's a few islands in the group. I think there's some where people live on as well. But yeah, Komodo's the main one and it's good. That's where the rangers are.
The rangers are there, yeah.
Yeah, it's the safest place to go and experience it.
Yeah, from memory, they had the long stick with the fork at the end that if they needed to just nudge one away, they can do that. Yeah. Yeah,
literally. Yeah, they fend them off quite well, but it doesn't really seem like they're. I think they're well aware not to attack people. It seems like they're pretty adjusted to the human interactions now.
Yeah. Now, there's also, I think, on that same day, you go to Pink Beach as well.
Pink Beach, yeah, it's beautiful. We come hang out here for a few hours, land on a jetty, and there's some really nice snorkeling here. Lots of anemones from my memory, lots of clownfish, which is great. So you'll see lots of little Nemo swimming around and anemones in there. Some wild pigs as well that we've got to keep an eye on, but they're fine. You just don't go near the wild pigs. There's some little huts in the rear that you can purchase some things, chat to the locals, soft drinks as well you can buy if you'd like. But it's a beautiful beach, really pretty pink colours as well. Really nice sort of relaxing afternoon. You can lay in the sun or you can go and find some clownfish, like beautiful snorkeling out there, all out on the far side.
So for people who haven't done a lot of snorkeling, do you find that they generally can get out and see some things even if they're not super confident in the water?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like this is quite definitely a location where would be considered very easy snorkeling. It's quite shallow as well.
Yeah.
The crew's all there to you're not going to be. It's not a very wavy location. And we have all the safety gear that you'd need to float as well, life jackets, noodles.
Yeah.
But yeah, this would definitely be considered an easy location. There'd be kids in there as well on a good day.
Yeah. Now, once again, this looks like an amazing snorkeling opportunity.
That's one of my photos. Oh,
Oh,
that's so
fantastic.
cool. Yeah, I recognize that.
You took that one. Cool.
Yeah, I think so. I remember that one because I think I was on the trip that did Jailamu for the first time. So
Okay.
yeah.
So it's just like a GoPro, or how do you take
I think
that?
it is. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this is just my GoPro. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have any other camera. Yeah, this was a beautiful spot, beautiful snorkeling, really healthy coral as you can see. So this was wonderful, wonderful. I believe we just do mostly snorkeling this day. And and it's off the Explorer. We may land on the beach. So they'll protect beach combing and kayaking options as well.
And you may see some of evidence of turtles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's the option to. I do recall seeing quite a few turtles around these parts. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Hopefully get the chance to see some turtles. Yeah, this is a wonderful. You can see some heaps of soft corals, lots of beautiful, beautiful. This was a great spot.
Yeah,
It's
it looks quite shallow. So yeah, even as a snorkeler, you can get down there. But if we do have any people watching today that are avid scuba diving, there is that option to do that as well on board, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. So they'll be sort of separated with the dive instructor, and they based on our site reports, they'll have previously found a spot that's more suitable for diving, whereas this might be more suitable. This could potentially be suitable for both, but they'd probably want to go somewhere a little bit deeper for diving. But depending if they want to take that route, they'll get the chance to do that.
Okay, so looks coming away from some of those beach and scuba diving, coming into a bit more of civilization. Now, this is the opportunity to stay overnight, isn't it?
Yes, it's great fun. So we pack like a little bag, just a little, carry on that most of the guests just share their suitcase with their husband or wife.
Yeah.
We take a little backpack. So we get on the bus for a period of time and head up into the mountains, and there's a few stops. There's a couple of stops on the way. The first one's usually just a bathroom break, but there's little kiosks there with lots of Indonesian snacks that you can buy. I'm someone who loves a snack on a road trip, so I'm always grabbing something tasty, and then we start to see these beautiful the beautiful houses, the I always get this one, but Tongkanan houses, which are just incredible.
They look spectacular.
Yeah, and you see that they've obviously got the bull and the horns that are on display. So we then we head to the resort that we're staying at, the Miss Filiana, if that's still staying the same. And it's just culturally, this is an incredible 2 days, and it's very fun as well because we stay. So we have a beautiful lunch at the resort, and then come back out for the day and explore some of the really culturally significant locations in the area. So I don't remember the exact layout of the days, but we go to Lemno, and there's really unique burial sites where they're quite high up in the mountains. And then that evening we a beautiful buffet dinner again, and performances, and drinks and dancing. They really get involved. It's such a fun evening for everyone. And then the next day, breakfast at the resort, and then we head out again to one of the traditional markets. So where they sell the cattle. And some people choose not to attend, or you can. I haven't ever found it too confronting, but people can sort of focus more on the souvenir section of the market. You don't need to go into that area. And and then we go, it's jam-packed days, but everywhere is incredible, beautiful culture. There is it's a very unique cultural part of Indonesia, and the scenery is incredible. You're in the mountains, got beautiful trees around you, beautiful tropical rainforests, and these buildings, and the people are lovely. At one point we walk through this section that's right next to a school, so if it's a school day, you saying hello to all the kids. It's so much fun. I love the 2 days. It's fun for me as well, like absolutely wonderful. It's a great 2 days.
And one of the things that really impressed me and was really helpful on my trip, and especially for 2 days like this, is the briefings that the expedition crew give on board, just explaining what's going to be happening the next day, and the sheet that you get in your cabin, so that you can properly plan, prep, and have the opportunity to ask any questions before your expedition day, so you're fully prepped and ready and know what's going to be happening.
Exactly. That's really important, so people aren't wondering what shoes to wear. Do they need to bring their bathers, and what to expect? So because you sort of need to be prepared for the unexpected in these little countries, but it's not a little country, little villages, sorry. But we like to think we've experienced it a fair few times now, so we are somewhat prepared for what can happen.
You can pass on that experience, and if people have particular questions, those briefings in the bridge deck lounge are really helpful to satisfy any curiosity, and make sure that all of those important little practical questions and things that people need, as you say, what shoes to wear, what do I bring, all those things that everyone wants to know, that they're all answered. Okay, so next destination is Tanah Toraja.
So this is the next day. The 2 day. So this is
2 days. Okay, so this is part of
the cabbage fields. So this is part of the same 2 days.
Those 2 days.
Where you walk through some farmland, which is beautiful as well. The photos are stunning. This is what I imagine the mist in the air, and it's just amazing.
And it'd be such a good contrast to all those beach days that you've had.
It really is. It's such a good point. We go to a lot of these little island coastal villages, but then this is not at all near the coast, up in the mountains, so it's even cooler in some parts, and it's a different to what a lot of people would have experienced, especially if people have only been to, say, Bali and whatnot. This is the culture here.
This would be the most Ubud-like type of scenery that you get.
And the culture surrounding the death is what you'll be experiencing and learning about, and it's more of a celebration, and you'll see some of these burial sites where it's quite wonderful. You imagine we go to a cemetery at home and you just see the headstone, and but here they'll have all these pictures and they'll have all these achievements, and it's quite like you really feel like you've had a little introduction to who this person was, this grandmother. If they were a politician. There's one of the sites we go to is a very where they've got quite a prominent burial area, so they've all been in quite higher up positions. So it was quite interesting to see how highly respected these individuals were as well, which you might not really know just by going to an everyday cemetery. In our culture, you wouldn't really know if that was a very high, like a prominent person in the township, maybe. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the big benefits of going on trips like this, is that like we get so wrapped up in our modern Western way of living, and it gives us a chance to just detach from that and experience, life like it probably was for some of our ancestors to some degree. And the modern life is kind of has departed from that in such a dramatic way that it gives us a chance to plug into that side of ourselves almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, speaking of getting back to beaches and islands, this looks like probably one of the most idyllic ones along the whole trip, I would have, by the pictures anyway.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. This looks like somewhere where they've landed for some swimming, but there is quite a large village, I think, around the other side where it's a really great village to wander through. So that they're extremely excited. This is the one where the kids are that call me from time to time. They keep saying, "When are you coming back to Segori? When are you coming back?" I'm like, I don't know the roster. So yeah, if anyone books this trip and they say, "Where's Sarah?" If I'm not there, just tell them I said hi. Because they possibly will. They've got a great memory too. If they get a photograph of you, they'll be calling you. They're wonderful. They're so excited to meet you. And what we take, one thing I hadn't mentioned is we take some donations for the schools each time. So it's wonderful being able to pass on some school supplies, some sporting items and stuff to these really small remote villages. And snorkeling here is really lovely as well. It's a beautiful spot, and it's really cool seeing. You get a really good feel for village life here, because you're sort of walking through basically a path right through, and there are a lot of houses on stilts. And there's kids everywhere. So many kids, families, husbands, wives. They're fishing. You get to see what they do with their fish when they're drying the fish out, some of their fishing equipment. It's a really, really cool look at traditional coastal village life in Indonesia. And the kids are just out having a good time swimming or at school. It's lovely. It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would get such a kick out of meeting us and seeing the ship come. Yeah.
It's very they're very excited that they'll I'll have to tell them, I'll message them and let them know that there's going to be people coming in November, and they'll be very excited.
Oh, it's awesome.
Tanaburu.
Yeah, so like this absolutely blew me away, that the size of ships that these guys are hand making. It's incredible.
This is, and I was lucky enough to do this trip in January 2025 and January 2026. So I got to see a difference of a year between some of the ships, and it's just, and the way that the craftsmanship is incredible, and you get the chance to walk up the stairway or the plank and go in and actually look at the progress.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Oh, just a dream boats here to have, and they do these beautiful performances with fire and some traditional snacks as always. They always treat us really well, and you just get to the chance to mingle and wander through the boats, and it's a really, really cool. It's a highlight, absolutely.
I
Incredible.
think it's so impressive, the craftsmanship and the expertise that they have, like the length of some of these pieces of wood, and they're significantly heavy, solid pieces of wood, and the fact that they can they can heat and bend them to such precision, and then lay them, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and it's a stark contrast to an Australian construction site, that's for sure. You'll see that they're not quite so many safety boots and safety helmets, but that's just the way they do things, and they seem pretty happy. And the photography again is incredible here. You get to chat and mingle with the locals. Very excited as always to meet us. So this one's it's a great day here. And Makassar.
And all good journeys have to come to an end at some point.
Exactly, yeah. So I think this is like a 14-day trip, is it? Yeah.
So you would you would have come, by the time you get here, you would have seen an awful lot. You'd have amazing interactions and know the crew and the other passengers so well, and it's quite a bittersweet time when you have to say goodbye to everybody.
It is. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 2 weeks as well. And it's always it's quite an intimate experience on the coral geographer or coral adventurer. 120 people seems like a lot if we get that amount. 80 to 100 is, you really do get familiar with almost everybody. And I know there's a lot of people who end up traveling again with other people that they've made lifelong friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great trip. It's definitely, like I said, it's just such a mix of everything: culture, swimming, walking, food. So you get really everything. You're not getting too much of, say, snorkeling, which some people might not like. You just get bits of everything. So it's definitely one of the best ones we have.
Now, for people who haven't been to this part of the world before, like getting off the ship here and then I think maybe they don't appreciate the size of this city, and you've got pretty much every kind of major hotel brand there that you can then after the ship, if you want to spend some more time, there's some great hotels to check into, and the airport's a modern international airport, and close to flights back to Bali that you could connect back to Australia pretty easily.
Yeah, it's a big city, Makassar. Yeah. So I believe I spent a little bit of time there, and there's some unique shopping as well. You could stock up on some beautiful stuff before heading home. There's stuff to see in Makassar for sure. And you kind of get a comparison from the really remote village life to what it's like in a busy Indonesian city. So it's just, again, another different cultural experience. So I'd recommend, spending a night there or two just to see what it's like there. Yeah.
No, I think that'd be a great idea. Well, any last thoughts to sum up this trip and why someone should jump on board and spend some time with the wonderful crew and other guests in this part of the world?
I guess you'll have the best time. You won't be bored on this trip at all. Every day is different. Every day is a mix of wonderful experiences. The Indonesian people are incredible as well. You'll always feel welcome. You can get your fix of beautiful shopping, like boutiques as well. So traditional boutique fabrics, which at a really, really, really good price as well. You're getting handmade stuff. I've got some myself. Handmade stuff that you're not going to buy at Kmart. That's beautifully woven and a really good price too. I mean, too cheap even. Beautiful food and wildlife as well. It's just got absolutely everything you'd want out of a trip. You'll I definitely recommend it.
Well, really appreciate your time today, Sarah, and I think anyone watching would have got a lot of value out of all of that fantastic experience that you've got in this part of the world. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're joined also by Steve Wendelick and Anne O'Day. They're part of our guest lecturer team that joins the trips on coral expeditions. So Steve and Anne, if you could briefly introduce yourself to the audience and give us an idea of that role of the guest lecturers on board.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, and welcome everybody. Yeah, the role of the guest lecturer is the name sort of suggests we give lectures all the time, which is not true. We give talks of guided discussions on board. The main aim of expeditions is to get out and experience it at the coalface. So a lot of the talks we do, which are support the field trips, give background information or provide summaries, often are a support to what we're seeing in front of us when we go ashore. So we also are on the explorers when we go ashore, and along with local guides and some of the other expedition crew, we help provide information as to what we're seeing, where we're going, and that sort of information. So we're sort of on tap for any assistance and information as to educating people about what we're seeing, answering questions.
Yeah.
We also sit with people for every meal so that they can answer follow-up questions as well. Add anything, Anne?
No, I think that sums it up.
Yeah. We do help logistically too, like when on the walks and with boats, but our main role is to make sure guests are getting the information that they want to get about what they're seeing, and able to answer any questions we can if they've got follow-up questions.
Now, you've both got vast experience in working in remote and regional areas and interacting with Indigenous populations. So when you turn your mind to this particular trip, what are the sort of things that stand out to you as what people would take away from doing this trip, or the kind of things that they'll learn doing this trip?
Yeah, look, I reckon this trip is an amazing trip, and if you get a chance to do it, do it. One of the overriding things is you're following the track of ancient seafarers from centuries ago, from at least the 1600s, that were coming from Indonesia to the north of Australia seasonally. They'd come across with the prevailing winds and stay there for 6 months. They were harvesting trepang or sea cucumber, but they also traded for turtle shell, pearl shell, cypress pine, a lot of other things. And they also brought other guests, like the dugout canoe from the North Australia came from the Indonesians. It wasn't a traditional implement for Indigenous Australians up there. They had rafts and things like that. So a lot of seafarers from that group of islands came down. There are hundreds of words in the top 10 languages which are based on Makarese or Bugis. Some of those languages, there were, from the 1600s, Aboriginal people living in Makassar.
Oh, wow.
There's 1873, there's an Italian photographer who took a series of photos of these Indigenous people from Coburg Peninsula, or Gurig Banak. And if you didn't know where they were, you would swear they were on site there with the, they had their scarif, the initiation marks, there was intermarriage. Anyway, so just even based on that, the links, like Indigenous Australians were involved in some of the first overseas trading from this country, which isn't acknowledged. And I guess that's a point. That story is poorly known and poorly acknowledged, and doing this trip, you really get a good feel for it.
So on top of that, the entire trip is in Wallacea. So the big picture of the Wallace Line and all the natural sciences, the geology, the geography, the biology, ecology of the area. So and how that interrelates as such a biodiverse region with these like lines that go through it, and have left that area developing its own species in plants and animals, because it's been isolated, but at the same time the influence from before that have come in from both the monkey side and the marsupial side, just to put it simply, the Australasian side and the Asian side. So it's so rich. And then under the water,
Well, just on that though,
Oh.
The Wallace Line, for those that don't know, due to deep ocean troughs, that prevented animals and plants that couldn't swim or fly from moving across. On the left-hand side as you're going north,
Yeah.
so the Asian side, you have elephants, tigers, lions, monkeys, toucans. On the right side, which is mainly Australia, New Guinea, and coming across to Sulawesi, you get marsupials, parrots. So it's quite a big divergence, which is really interesting ecologically. And as Anne said, this trip goes through the middle of a bit of a blurry area where you get some influence from both sides.
Right.
Under the water, you're part of the Coral Triangle. I mean, we were on a liveaboard dive ship off Komodo Island some years ago for 5 days. And just based on that, the snorkeling and diving is amazing. You have whale sharks. We had manta rays tapping us on the shoulder.
Wow.
So yeah, being able to get in the water in this region is a real privilege as well. People talk about Raja Ampat, which is up near the Vogelkop, the top of New Guinea,
Yeah.
as one of the world-renowned areas, but so is this. Pristine, amazing areas.
A huge percent of the world's corals, and a lot of opportunities to snorkel on this trip.
Yeah,
if that's your interest.
The Coral Triangle's got the highest marine biodiversity in the world, or coral anyway.
What else is?
And the other thing I just quickly say culturally is
Sure.
you're looking at you're going through. Sorry, go on.
No, it's actually what I was going to ask about, is that cultural interaction and the chance to meet the people who call this area home.
Yeah, okay, that tied in nicely. Well, you're sort of, in an anthropological sense, there's part of the Asian area there, you have the Austronesian influence, and then as you get further into the Pacific, you have Melanesian. In some of these areas here, you're getting quite a bit of Melanesian. In fact, places like Alor, you could look at the people there, and it's just very Papuan looking in their genetics.
Yeah.
So it's quite a mishmash, and part of that's to do with the Wallacea and the rising and dropping of continental drifts and various land bridges where people migrated through to populate Australia and places like that. So you'll find common themes through there in people's genetic background, but also things like rock art and cultural customs. This area here, and this trip goes through some really unique, like the Toraja people in the northeastern Sulawesi we go to. You go up into the mountains. Normally our trips are pretty coastal based, but this time this area is so unique. You hop off for a while and go up into the rugged mountains and experience this amazing. They're an animist people, which is a religion that's just based on making animals, plants, the natural landscape having spiritual value, as opposed to the more structured religions, Islam, Christianity. And their houses, the roofs are actually represent ships from where the ancient migration came in ships. So they were traditionally a coastal people, but they've been pushed up by the Bugis, and Islam basically pushed them up the hill when they went up there and built their towns so they could protect themselves. But they essentially were animists. They're now a lot of them are Protestant, which is another thing in some of these areas. A lot of people understand Indonesia to be one of the biggest Muslim countries, which it is. Then some of these areas like here and across the West Papua, it's quite strongly Protestant Christian. The Lamalera, where the traditional whale hunting still occurs, that's an eye-opener, and they do it just by rowing canoes. It's all very traditional, no harpoon, no motorised boats or anything. So it's actually quite, if you can take off your Western lens in terms of how you judge things and see it from a culture, it's actually, you can appreciate the skill in doing
I would offer some homework to people to read The Last Whalers. If you're planning to do this trip, the Lamalera, to prepare yourself for something that's culturally quite confronting for us. If you were to read The Last Whalers, you might find yourself looking at it from being able to take off that Western lens and look at it more from their own point of view. And if I can add to the Torajan story, the effigies that they carve and put into the cliff faces, not only the cultural and historical importance of that, but just it's like a gallery. It's a visual feast. So one of those places, it doesn't matter how many photos, postcards or whatever you've seen, you need to be there.
And I guess same as in North Australia and some places where you go to some cultural sites. It's actually a privilege to be allowed to from local people to invite you in and share it with them. You know, some of this stuff. Again, with the Torajan, I did gloss over a little bit. What the funeral system there is just amazing. Like the funerals can last for months and sometimes years, because it all depends on how wealthy you are, because you've got to go through a whole ritual in sacrificing pigs and buffalo, which are quite expensive to the whole community. And if you're a poor family, you've got to wait till you've saved up enough before you can bury your family member. So the dead person lives in your house with you until that happens. And that can be months or years. And then
exactly lives with you.
Well, in fact, sort of. They're in the same house. And then they also do things like exhume them at various stages, and you get photos of people having a cigarette with their grandfather who's been dead for 2 years.
Since before they were born.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing, how that sort of culture developed. But yeah, it's a real eye-opener, something completely different to what I experienced when I went ever before, and I'd lived in New Guinea and seen smoke warriors in trees and doing some things like that. But this was a real eye-opener. So culturally, you're going through in a short area quite a different, as I said, Melanesian, Austronesian, Papua New influences, which is Melanesian as well, and then some of these distinct real little particular cultural idiosyncrasies, I guess, if you like, which is really
indigenous people from way back.
Yeah, which is really real education. I mean, if you come with the right attitude, you can't possibly not go away enriched in many ways, on many fronts.
Yeah, I often speak to people who've done trips on all of our trips, and the very common feedback is that they feel that the trip changed them as a person, not only from the things that they see and the things that they learn, but also just the opportunity to have some quality time with other like-minded people that these trips afford.
And bring some repair, because there's some excellent opportunities to buy things at village markets that you'll only see when you're on that day at that island. So you can't go back if you didn't get it then.
Well,
hopefully it's not that common in some.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For me personally, I've got a lot out of this chat, and I think it's been really valuable for the people who've tuned into the webinar, and hopefully it's given them a sense of just the quality and the value that they're going to get from spending time with people like yourselves, and being able to see what they're seeing through the experience lens that people like yourself provide, and having people who can understand the Western sense of things, and being able to almost translate and provide that bridge for people who come on board as our guests into these very different parts of the world that they haven't experienced before. So I really want to thank you for your time today, and just give you the opportunity for any last comments for the audience today.
No worries. Pleasure. And if you've got the chance to do this trip, do it.
Hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We
are coming to an end to today's journey through the islands of Indonesia. I hope it gave you some really helpful information and inspired you to join us on an epic adventure of discovery. With our purpose-built ships equipped with exclusive explorer tenders and our authentic Aussie hospitality, we can't wait for you to join us on this adventure. We love this magic part of the world of our near north neighbours, and we look forward to showing it to you in a very comprehensive way. If you'd like more information or are ready to book, please give our wonderful reservations team a call, or you can visit our website, send us an email, or visit your preferred travel agent. For those that have put questions in the chat, feel free to stay online with our sales staff, and a reminder that a link to this presentation will be emailed to you. Thanks so much for spending some time with us today, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming you on board a coral expedition in the future. Bye for now.